Bonaduce, life coach. Danny Bonaduce, life coach.
That's right, it is now time for Danny Bonaduce, life coach. You should give me a call, 1-800-252-1025. Love your emails at lifecoach@KZOK.com. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorcerman. Call 1-800-DIVORCE. Let us chat with Jill in Monroe. Good morning, Jill.
Hi.
Hi. Jill, now you tell me your problem and I give you my solution. That's how Life Coach works.
I have a 16-year-old male, and he has depression issues and doesn't want to go to high school.
All right, well, so basically what you have is you have a 16-year-old kid. That's what they do. You don't have any special, and I'm sure there's some coming. I'm not saying this, but right now, if you're going to tell me, you know, I got a 16-year-old boy, he's a pain in my ass, and he doesn't want to go to high school, you could switch him with the neighbor's kids, and you're going to come out with the exact same problems. So here's my theory. My theory is your child gives you extra drama than just not wanting to go to school. Is it to the level that he doesn't want to go? Does he get physical about not wanting to go? Does he cut to not go? Does he take drugs to not go? What's your son up to, Jill?
He just rather not deal with kids that have, you know, issues at school like smoking, drinking, and chewing tobacco, and he just, you know, is kind of a loner.
So you're expressing to me, Jill, that your boy expresses the fact that he does not want to fool around with people who smoke or drink or take drugs.
Yeah, he doesn't want to deal with any of those.
You swear to God, you think you have a problem. I love this kid. Aside from the fact that he doesn't want to go to school, except, you know, that's every kid I know. Every teenage boy I know doesn't want to go to school, whether it's all the time or sometime. But it sounds like you got a really nice thing with this child of yours. Everybody doesn't like their neighbors at school, but it sounds like he's not getting bullied with anything. I think your trick is to make sure he goes to school and gets the best education, no matter what he wants. He doesn't have a whole lot of rights here. He's 16, and you know what's best for him. You're his mom. So if you need to unplug the internet, if you need to take away the cell phone, you need to do all these things immediately and not get too rough. I'm telling you, you're going to get your way with this kid pretty easily because your son, unlike a lot of 16-year-old boys, knows exactly what's right or wrong, and I think I got money says your boy does the right thing. Thank you very much for the call, Jill.
If you've got a question and would like the help of the Life Coach, now is the time to call 1-800-252-1025. Any kind of problem, if it's family, friends, work, anything, Danny can help you. Make the call now. Gabrielle in Seattle, you're on with Danny Bonaduce.
Hi, Gabrielle.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. So I have a friend who is dating my other friend, who is also my husband's best friend. And I have recently found out that she is cheating on him.
Who's cheating on who? Is somebody cheating on your husband's best friend, your third cousin on your mother's side's best friend? I couldn't follow that. Who's cheating on whom?
The guy is both my husband and my friend.
Right.
And then the girl is my friend. They met at our wedding.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
And I just recently found out that she's cheating on him, and I don't really know how to handle it.
All right, so what is the thing? She's cheating on him. So, and your relation to him is what exactly?
I mean, we were really close before they started dating. I'm kind of like a little sister figure, I guess, to him.
Okay. Well, here's what happens. Is your question for me, do I tell him? Is that the basic question?
I just want to know if it's appropriate to let him know.
How old are they?
He is 25 and she is 21.
Are they in love?
He's in love with her.
You know what? Here's what I'm going to recommend, because he deserves better, but you don't deserve to be in the middle of that, because you know what's going to happen? There's three ways that this can work out, and two of them are very bad for you. For example, you tell them and they don't care, and now you're the bad guy that told them. Or you tell them they have a huge fight, but decide to give it one more try, and you're the bad guy. The only scenario that works even a little bit for you is if they break up completely and don't correspond anymore, and that is unlikely, and still, you're kind of the bad guy in that. So do this, my friend. Do not bring it upon yourself to tell them. And don't do an anonymous letter, and don't do anything weird. That's why I asked their age. These guys are young. Nobody's going to go walking down the aisle with this. He probably has a suspicion already. So no, do not tell your friend that your other friend is cheating him. It's a mess you don't need.
Are you done?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Gabrielle.
Good luck to you, sweetie. 800-252-1025. Call that number now with your problems that need help from the life coach, because he will be able to help you. And remember,
I will.
Change your name if you would like to. And if you would like to send an email, that is lifecoach@KZOK.com. We've got an email here from James in Federal Way. He writes to the life coach, I brought my new girlfriend to a family gathering. She has a small scar on her cheek from a childhood accident. My sister is a makeup artist and started to give my girlfriend tips on how to cover up the scar. My girlfriend took offense and was upset through the rest of the occasion. Now there's resentment on both sides, and some members of my family have pressured me to be the peacekeeper. But I don't know what to do.
I do.
We're all adults, and this situation seems silly to me. What do you think I should do?
Oh, no. Your sister's completely out of line here. I'll bet very much she's a girl that has a scar on her face, and somebody wants to bring it up to her at a party. Is your sister out of her mind? And here's another thing. She's a young woman with a scar on her face. You don't think she knows how to cover that? She doesn't cover it on purpose. It's her thing. Ask Harrison Ford, who has a huge scar on his chin, and it's his thing. Yours, and I'm not mad. I'm just talking loud. Your sister's out of line here, and here's the way you do it. You go up to your sister and you say, hey, man, that was weird for everybody. You know what? And just put it this way that I just put it. She's a girl with a scar on her face. Would you mind just apologizing to her if that's what you want? Be clear on what you want. And again, I think we got some civilized people on the phones and on the emails today. I think your sister will deliver it. I think your sister's a professional makeup artist, and she'll go, hey, that's right. This kid can completely cover up that scar if she wanted to. She didn't. Maybe I was out of line. So if you're looking for the enemy on this one or something like that, it's your sister, and she should do the grown-up thing and tell your girlfriend, hey, I'm really sorry about that. I should mind my own business. It should be no longer than that. Like it was nothing. Oh, man, I shouldn't have said anything. I'm sorry. Just like that, and it's over.
800-252-1025. Still time to call that number with your questions for the life coach.
But I'm right about that. Any young woman old enough to be wearing makeup knows how to cover up her scar if she wanted to, right?
Sure.
That's a girl thing for sure.
Yeah.
Even a guy thing. Yeah. Yeah, your sister should say sorry.
And, you know, scars, you've had them most of the time forever, and if it was something new, she'd have a plastic surgeon take care of it.
Right.
So Christine in Seattle has sent an email. My husband of 22 years has a drinking problem. He gets sober for about a year, but then goes back to drinking. The day after, he always says he's sorry and never wants to drink again, but he does.
Man, does this sound familiar?
When he drinks, he also smokes pot, and then his personality changes. He's threatened to leave, and I say, go ahead, but he never does. What can I do to protect my family? I know he needs to quit on his own, but is there anything I can say or do to make him realize he is tearing this family apart?
Well, first thing you can do is tell him absolutely that. No matter how he acts, buzzed or high, and then after that he's like in charge and he did all this stuff on purpose. Don't change me. This is my life. It's not true. He's ashamed of himself. He's sorry. He can't believe he drank. He can't believe he was an idiot. He can't believe he smoked pot in the house and became just a zombie on your couch. He's really embarrassed. So when you say, what are you doing with that? This is our relationship. You need to get some help. I promise you, he is going to be open to this because the way he said he's really embarrassed and promises not to do this again. I lived 20 years like that. This is the closest email I've ever gotten to my own story, except you should have 2 other wives leaving him over this. But the fact of the matter is it's awful, but here's what I know about your husband that maybe you don't know, and that is he's absolutely 100% ashamed of himself and wants some help. There's help everywhere. There's AA meetings. You can go online and get the directory of all the meetings in the Seattle and other areas as well. You can get some rehab. Schick Shadle does wonderful work, but he wants the help. You should offer it, and you should offer the stuff that you think he'll be the most receptive to, whether it's meetings on his own 1 hour a day or so, or an inpatient rehab. Whatever you think he's going to go for, start with that.
And good luck to you, Christine. You can always email the life coach at lifecoach@KZOK.com. We've got time for more calls. Let's put you on with Rusty in Tacoma.
Hey, Rusty.
How's it going?
It's all good. How are you?
Not too bad. Hey, this is about DSHS in the state of Washington and child care.
We get a lot of calls surrounding that subject. Yeah, what can I do for you?
Well, in 2005, my son was kidnapped by he was 2 years old then. He was kidnapped by his mother, and they just disappeared, you know, and I had no idea where they went or what happened. I kind of lost control of things. I ended up going to prison for 5 years for a DUI.
You went to prison for 5 years for a DUI?
They gave me 5 years for E. Well, they gave me 1 and 4, and maybe you all 5.
Were you a menace? Had you hit anything?
I was actually no. The only reason the cop pulled me over because I didn't come to a full stop at the stoplight.
Oh, I hate that. Okay, back to your kid, because this is pretty interesting.
And I was in contact with Washington because I knew that his mom had family here, and I was in contact with him I was writing 6 letters while I was in prison. I was writing 6 to 12 letters a month, and Washington was always telling me, "No, your son is not here, and no, he's not in state's custody." And then about a year before I was getting ready to get released from prison, I get a letter from Washington that said, "Yes, your son is here. He is in state's custody." And he was found walking downtown looking for something to eat at 5 years old.
Jeez. And this is a decade ago.
Yes, it started a while back. As soon as I got out of prison, I came over here, to try to get things. Went to court. They had a court date. They already had my parental rights. They already had paperwork terminate my parental rights at that point.
Right. But are you talking to the kid?
That's what I came over here, and they were going to set up. And it's just an odd case because they were going to set up phone call or phone calls.
That's what you want, Rusty. You want phone calls, you want contact, because if anybody else has done the math along with me, and I'm guessing 4 months, your kid is a legal adult and gets to make all the decisions in the world. And then what you want to do about bringing charges against the mother, you can do all that. They're going to fall flat on their face. It's a big waste of time and money. What you want to do, because this woman has been telling this kid how bad you are, you're on drugs, you beat her, you lied to her, you had a romantic relationship with Siamese twins. You're just a weirdo. That's what she's been telling the boy. You need to break through that barrier by having some conversation with him, some letter writing. I'll be super careful with anything you put in writing. Your ex-wife is a bad person, and she's going to do bad things, and if you make a joke or an off-color remark on paper, she'll use it against you someday. Win this kid back. Get him to love his dad, or at least be curious. I'd like to have lunch with my dad. The second he says or does that, he's a legal adult. You've actually won out. All the court cases in the world don't count over a kid that misses his dad. Thank you very much for the call, Rusty. I do appreciate it. Hang in there, man. Some great phone calls. I hope you thought I was of some help. Life Coach brought to you by Goldberg Jones Divorce for Men. Call 1-800-DIVORCE.